Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new Marincess support, plus there is a new Dark Charmer over here, which I'm actually really excited about because, you know, there's a lot of great Dark targets to be able to add back to your hand, and again, more Marincess support. So let's go ahead and kick it off first with the Marincess support. Let's see if it's actually any good. I know a lot of people were playing this deck, but I didn't think that it had like the highest win rate, but you know, some people are just fans of an archetype, and the artwork does look pretty cool. Alright, so let's kick it off with the first card, the Marincess Spring Girl, which is a new Water Cyber's effect with 1200 attack and 1000 defense points, and it's going to be having the effect of you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part of it is you can banish one Marincess monster from your graveyard to spell summon this card from your hand. The second part is if this card is sent to the graveyard as material for a Water Link monster, you can send cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard equal to the number of Marincess monsters you control, then inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each Marincess card sent to the graveyard by this effect. Potential maybe even like 1,000-ish burn damage, and you'd really have to push for that. But yeah, just being able to dump and get some extra burn damage is mostly for the dump that would actually be really good. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to stack their deck to specifically send things, but interesting effect nonetheless. It's still pretty easy, like extra like card to link summon into. Next up, we have the Marincess Sleepy Maiden. Here is the artwork on this card. It's going to be level 5 with 500 attack and 2500 defense points. And it says that you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part of it says you can target one Marincess card you control to spell summon this card from your hand. If you do, it gains this effect. That target cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects while this card is in the monster zone. Second part is you can banish this card from your graveyard and target a Marincess Link monster you control, and equip one Marincess Link monster from your graveyard to the target. That's another really great effect. I mean, it's easy special summon for the most part, just target one, and it gets a bonus too. The other bonus effect, I mean, you're maybe going to be using it as a link material, so this card might not last because it has to be in the monster zone for it. You link it off or like equip it later down the line or something like that. Next up, it looks like oh, this is another boss monster over here. This is a link 4 Water Cyber's Link effect. 2300 attack. Link zones are going to be top, left, bottom, and bottom right. Or bottom and right, not bottom right. But anyways, another Cyber's 2300 attack. Materials are 2+ water monsters, so a few different decks could make it. Maybe some mermails. Alright, you can only use the second and third effect of this card to name each once per turn. The first part of the effect is your opponent's monsters cannot attack other monsters while this card is in the extra monster zone. The second part is you can target one water monster you control, one card your opponent controls, return them to the hand. Oh, if only that was a quick effect right there. Third effect is when a spell, trap, or effect is activated on the field during your opponent's turn. As a quick effect, you can spell summon one Marincess monsters equipped to this card. If you do, negate that effect. Doesn't destroy it though. Okay, I feel like we kind of need both of those effects to be like very viable, but I mean, it has two decent like effects. It's just that this is only during your opponent's turn. Sometimes you do want that negation and as well as that destruction on your turn as well, but nonetheless, Marincess is still a pretty viable archetype considering on your turn you can just bounce back the other thing, which is going to be kind of nice. Next up though, Marincess Dive is going to be a new spell card that says you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. The first part of it is activate one of these effects, but you cannot spell summon monsters for the rest of the turn after this card resolves, except for water monsters. First part is target one non-link Marincess monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Second part is if a Marincess Battle Ocean is in your field zone, you can special summon a Marincess monster from your deck. Oh wow, that's a really good effect. Just being able to get out whatever you need. It is not a continuous though, so you can only activate one of these, and you can only go for waters. But I don't really feel like that's a downside for most Marincess players. I haven't seen any hybrid variants of the Marincess archetype. Next up, that we have Marincess Circulation. That says if you control a Link 3 or higher Marincess monster, you can activate this card from your hand. The first part of the effect is to target one Water Link monster you control and return it to the extra deck. And if you do, special summon one Marincess Link monster from your extra deck with the same Link rating but a different name. This turn it cannot attack directly, also cannot be destroyed by battle, and treated as Link Summon. That's a really, really good effect considering if the monster is going to like go away anyways, you bring it out, you basically stall for a little bit. I wish it just went to the grave instead of the extra deck, but nonetheless, yeah, that's part of the effect of it. Next up, we have the Bubble Ring. Here's the artwork on this. This is going to be a regular trap card that says you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. The first part of it is when a monster declares an attack, you get to negate the attack and then special summon a Marincess Crystal Heart from your extra deck or graveyard. The second effect is you can banish a card from your graveyard and target one Link 2 or higher Marincess Link monster you control this turn. Its maximum number of attacks per battle phase equals its Link rating, but your opponent takes no damage from battles involving it. That's a huge downside considering like if you're going to be able to attack, I guess you could attack over everything via the banish. I mean, this is like an okay effect too. Nonetheless, these are all reprints. So Marincess Pusculus is getting reprint, Sea Angel, Coral Enemy, and Crystal Heart, Battle Ocean. We got Marincess Wave, which I think this is the card that's like really good. Pretty cool stuff that we are getting some support for them. And then next up, this is the card that I'm actually more excited about, which is Dark, the Dark Charmer, the Umbral. Here is the artwork on it. So it's 1850s, like most of like the other like Charmer Link monsters. So this is going to be a Link 2, and it just requires you to have at least including a Dark monster, which is relevant because its effect is always treated as a familiar possessed card. And you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. So the first part is you can target a dark monster in your opponent's graveyard and special summon to your zone that this card points to. And then the second part is if this link summon card is destroyed by an opponent's card effect while in its owner's monster, and you get to add any dark monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck to your hand, which that's a pretty insane effect. There are so many cards. Granted, it has to be destroyed battle or by opponent's card effect. But being able to search out whatever you want from your deck can be very, very big. This is not like kind of like basically like Witch of the Black Forest, right? But like all those cards just got super nerfed. Sangan and stuff, they just got eroded and they're so slow these days. But now, yeah, I think that this is a decent little effect nonetheless. There's probably going to be some new combos with this. Granted, if it could only be destroyed by your card effect and get the effect, because it has to be an opponent's card effect. If it didn't have that effect, otherwise there would be probably lots of FTKs with this. But anyways, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for the video. Let me know, guys, what you thought of any of the new cards down below for you guys know any cool combos with some of the new stuff. But thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here and don't want to be up to date on more new Yu-Gi-Oh cards, hit subscribe to the bell and I'll definitely see you more in the future. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!